Diddy Combs was famous for holding his annual 4th of July party in the Hamptons. All of the well-known partygoers wore white, and it wasn't exactly a family-friendly event.
Chaos unfolds in the courtroom as Diddy's lawyer visibly breaks down, overwhelmed by the looming threat of 300-plus disturbing lawsuits. Each case threatens to unravel a web of secrets and scandals that could destroy Diddy's legacy forever. The pressure is huge, the stakes are high, and the truth might shock everyone. This is not just a legal battle, it's a fight for survival. 300 new potential cases against Diddy. Diddy is facing an increasing number of allegations and is currently in federal custody in New York City following his September indictment on charges of trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. A lawyer representing several alleged victims of Sean Diddy Combs says the potential number of civil legal cases against the musician is probably in the 300 range. Tony Busby told the BBC his team had received about 3,000 calls since he held a news conference calling for clients in October. He has already issued 20 lawsuits from men and women seeking damages from the musician, and says that realistically the final total will be about 100 to 150. Others will not make it to court because the time limit for filing claims has expired in certain states. About an equal number of men and women have come forward to accuse Combs of misconduct, with the accusations spanning over a 20-year period, the BBC reported, citing Busby. On Sunday, December 8th, Busby also filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z, whose legal name is Sean Carter, in connection to the alleged events, after the rapper was named in an amended complaint that accused him of mistreating a 13-year-old girl alongside Diddy 24 years ago. The suit was originally filed in October. Mr. Busby, whose practice is based in Houston, is an outsized character in U.S. legal circles, once described by the New York Times as a big, mean, ambitious, tenacious, fire-breathing Texas trial lawyer. A former Marine and a TV show host, he made his name suing the energy giant BP after an explosion at an oil refinery in Texas City killed 15 people, and successfully defended former Texas Governor Rick Perry against abuse of power allegations. More recently, he helped a sizable group of women reach out-of-court settlements with American football player Deshaun Watson over allegations he had mistreated them during private massage sessions. His involvement with Diddy began last year, after his co-counsel Andrew Van Arsdale, who previously represented hundreds of victims in a misconduct lawsuit against the Boy Scouts of America, began receiving calls about the star. I think he got a little bit overwhelmed and he realized that this might be more than he could handle on his own, Busby says. After agreeing to help, Busby asked potential victims to come forward via an Instagram post. In the next 10 days, he estimates his team received 3,000 calls. Those claims were screened by a team of lawyers and former law enforcement officials who arrived at a list of clients with cases that are viable, that have been thoroughly vetted, that will ultimately be filed, he says. Busby has more than 100 staffers sifting through all the calls and claims. The lawyer claimed his firm has been able to corroborate the allegations via videos, pictures, text messages, police reports, and hospital records. He said most of these events and incidents occurred at parties and after parties or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, and all-white parties. After Busby's explosive claims, Diddy's legal team is furious, and their response will leave you absolutely stunned. Diddy lawyers' response. Diddy's lawyers immediately fired back, calling the volume of claims a reckless media circus, and slammed Busby's initial accusatory press conference and subsequent establishment of a toll-free tip line as a publicity stunt. Responding to Busby's claim that there could be 300 legal cases involving Diddy, his legal team said that the attorney's barrage of lawsuits against Mr. Combs is shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them, just as lies have been spread about Mr. Combs. As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor, they added. The music producer's attorney, Erica Wolf, said in a statement, "The press conference and 1-800 number that preceded today's barrage of filings were clear attempts to garner publicity. Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts, their legal defenses, and the integrity of the judicial process." Diddy's attorneys previously said in a statement following the first wave of complaints filed by Busby's clients that the mogul cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. It's not just Diddy whose life and reputation are on the line, there are many more at risk. Celebrities are likely to be named. Busby told the BBC that it's very likely that more high-profile figures in the industry will be named amid the ongoing accusations. If you just look at the conduct that's being alleged, it's pretty ubiquitous. There was a culture that was created, a party culture where anything goes, the lawyer told the outlet. Tony Busby held a press conference stating that he plans to continue to investigate allegations of Diddy's case brought to him and to file individual cases on his client's behalf against Diddy and others who may have facilitated or participated in any alleged misconduct within the next 30 days. Busby said that 25 of the alleged victims were minors at the time of the alleged misconduct, including alleged victims as young as 9, 14, and 15 years old. While he did not provide exact details on the alleged individual misconduct, Busby did break down the demographics of his clients. He said the 120 alleged victims were split evenly in gender, 60 were males and 60 were females, and 62% were black, 30% white, and the remaining were Hispanic or of other demographics. The majority of the alleged victims were from California, Georgia, and Florida, and the majority filed reports to the police or to a hospital after they had been mistreated. It was recently reported that some celebrities involved in Diddy freak-off videos are settling with the victims by paying them off. This is an effort on the celebrity's part to save their name from being mentioned in the lawsuit. Attorney Tony Busby told that he sent out demand letters to several A-list celebrities asking them to divulge any information or knowledge they had about Diddy's parties to resolve matters privately. He said, if you were attending one of these parties and you attended before, or you knew what was going to happen, that is, you knew that a particular drug was being used in drinks that were causing people to be coerced and taken advantage of, and you were there in the room, or you participated, or you watched it happen and didn't say anything, or you helped cover it up, in my view, you have a problem. Busby's plan of action is based on the fact that many people knew or attended these freak-offs and they should be held accountable. This is exactly what the lawyer plans to do, and teased. All of these individuals have exposure here, who will be named when they will be named. All that will come out in due course. About sending out the demand letters and settling with the victims, Busby stated, "We've done that with a handful of individuals, many of which you've heard of before, and will continue to do that." He also emphasized that people received demand letters but would not settle. Their names would be revealed through public lawsuits. These developments in the case come a month after the disgraced mogul was arrested and pleaded not guilty in court. Diddy's attorney also confirmed that he will not accept any plea deal as he is innocent. Here's an ongoing list of notable people named in lawsuits and criminal investigations against Diddy so far, excluding the accusers who have chosen not to reveal their names. Aaron Hall. Last November, Liza Gardner filed a lawsuit alleging that in 1990 she was mistreated by Diddy and R&B singer Aaron Hall. The lawsuit says that days later, Diddy mistreated and choked Gardner until she lost consciousness. In an amended complaint filed on October 8th, Gardner adds that she was 16 years old when she was invited to New Jersey from her home in North Carolina by her friends Devontae Swing and Dalvin DeGrate of the R&B group Jodeci. It goes on to allege that Gardner and her 15-year-old friend Monica Case met Diddy and Hall at an MCA Records event in New York, where they were reportedly supplied with alcohol. Diddy and Hall allegedly provided the minors with more drinks and marijuana later that night. The lawsuit states that Gardner and her friends were later taken back to Hall's apartment in New Jersey, where Diddy misconducted Gardner. The suit states that unbeknownst to Gardner at the time, Devontae Swing was in the room at the time and did nothing to stop Diddy. Swing was added as a co-defendant in the new complaint for aiding and abetting the misconduct. The next is the music producer, Harve Pierre. In September, singer Don Richard filed a lawsuit against Diddy and Pierre for misconduct and battery. The complaint also states that Richard witnessed Diddy beat and mistreating Ventura on many occasions. The lawsuit alleges that Richard and her bandmates were subjected to inhumane working conditions during their time on the show and in the musical group, sometimes being forced to rehearse for up to 48 hours without food or breaks, and often being berated by Diddy. The complaint states that the abusive behavior continued throughout Richard's professional relationship with Diddy, and that he instilled a culture of fear in the women he worked with. The lawsuit alleges Diddy would force Richard to take meetings while he was in his underwear, and he would barge into her dressing room unannounced and would grope her breasts and buttocks during stylish fittings. In one instance in 2010, the lawsuit states that Diddy berated Richard and Harper in the lobby of SIR Studios and attempted to punch Richard when she asked him to stop calling them bitches in front of people. Richard alleges the women were then ushered into a company car and that Diddy and Harve Pierre falsely imprisoned them in the vehicle for over 2 hours. In addition to the allegations of misconduct, Richard's lawsuit demands unpaid salaries, royalties, and wages for Richard's work as part of Danity Kane and Diddy, Dirty Money. In a second lawsuit filed in December 2023, the plaintiff alleges that when she was 17 in 2003, Diddy, Pierre, and an unnamed third defendant mistreated her. Specifically, she alleges that Pierre smoked crack cocaine and then forced her to give him oral pleasure before bringing her from Detroit to New York City on a private jet. Another name is Cuba Gooding Jr., the actor who pled guilty in 2022 to forcibly touching a woman and settled a civil misconduct case in 2023, was named in an amendment to Rodney Lil Rod Jones' original lawsuit against Diddy. The producer alleges that Gooding Jr. fondled and groped him on Diddy's yacht. Specifically, Jones accuses Diddy of grooming him to pass him off to Gooding. The complaint says the two were left alone in a makeshift studio on a yacht rented by Diddy. The actor has denied the allegations. "It's the most ridiculous thing ever," he said in an interview with Extra TV. "Welcome to being a celebrity, welcome to my world." Even Diddy's sons have not escaped accusations, as they are now being implicated in allegations of involvement in his criminal empire. Justin Dior Combs and Christian Combs, while not necessarily a celebrity in his own right, Justin Dior Combs, Diddy's 30-year-old son, is a defendant in Jones's amended complaint in the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York. In a wide-ranging list of allegations, Jones accuses Justin Combs of soliciting sex workers and underage girls, as well as engaging in freak-offs. He also says the younger and older Combs were the only other people present in the room when G, a friend of his, was shot at a recording studio, implying one of them shot G. Justin Combs was at Diddy's Los Angeles home when it was raided by the feds and was seen handcuffed on the lawn outside, though he wasn't arrested. Justin Combs' lawyer, Jeffrey Lichtman, said on his radio show, Beyond the Legal Limit, that the complaint was utterly bonkers. The lawsuit also alleges that Jones witnessed Christian Combs, another son of Combs, drugged and mistreated a woman. Tyrone Blackburn, an attorney representing Jones, is also part of a separate lawsuit filed in April against Christian Combs on behalf of a plaintiff named Grace O'Marque, alleging the younger Combs mistreated her on a yacht owned by Diddy. Both Justin Dior Combs and Christian Combs have denied the allegations against them. Another famous name caught in the allegation is Jacob Arabo. Better known as Jacob the Jeweler, he is named as a defendant in a complaint filed against Diddy by Adria English in July. In the lawsuit, English accuses Diddy of misconduct. The complaint alleges that she worked at Diddy's famous white parties as a go-go dancer for years, and that at least one of the parties he forced her to have physical relations with Arbo, one of the party guests. The complaint says plaintiff, fearing not only her safety but her and her then boyfriend's job security, did as instructed and went with defendant Jacob, where she engaged in forced physical relation with defendant Jacob at the demand and behest of defendant Diddy. Plaintiff knew refusing defendant Diddy's demands was not an option. The complaint also says English saw Arabo using substances. In a photograph included in the complaint, English and Arabo are together. The complaint against him is not Arabo's first run-in with the law. In 2006, he was arrested on money laundering charges. As part of a plea deal, he was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for falsifying records and making false statements, according to a CBS report. The next one is rapper Young Miami. Young Miami, one half of the rap duo City Girls, dated Diddy in recent years. In August, she addressed the accusations against her ex, stating on her Revolt TV show Carisha Please that she couldn't comment on the allegations as she wasn't present at the time. She explained that she didn't personally know Diddy in that way, adding that her experience with him was different from the claims being made. In September, however, Brownlee was named in a lawsuit filed against Diddy by an unnamed woman. The lawsuit alleges that the plaintiff was forced to travel and perform for Diddy many times from 2021 to 2024. Much of this travel was reportedly paid for by Diddy's staffer Christina Coram. The suit states that in 2022, the plaintiff was forced to take drugs and have an intimate relationship with Diddy. When she learned she was pregnant and told Diddy, the lawsuit states that Brownlee, who is not a co-defendant on the complaint, harassed and called out the plaintiff repeatedly, pressuring her to get an abortion. The stress allegedly led the woman to suffer a miscarriage. Another one is Stevie J, DJ, and producer Stevie J couldn't escape. Jones alleges in his amended complaint filed in the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York that the Grammy winner Stevie J Diddy's longtime collaborator recruited sex workers and participated in Combs' freak-offs, though he doesn't name Stevie J as a defendant. Jones accuses Diddy of instructing Stevie J to teach him the type of sex workers to solicit and the way to solicit them. Jones also accuses Stevie J of sending threatening messages when Jones publicly asked Diddy to pay him for his work on Diddy's The Love album. The complaint also says Combs used his connection to Stevie J to pressure Jones into physical intimacy. What lawyers say about Diddy's future. Several prominent lawyers have shared their opinions on the ongoing legal issues surrounding Diddy, especially in light of the recent lawsuits. For instance, attorney Gloria Allred emphasized that the growing number of accusations and the credibility of the plaintiffs could pose serious legal challenges for Diddy, potentially leading to both civil and criminal consequences. Legal analyst Mark Garagos noted that Diddy's high-profile status might complicate his case, as celebrities often face intense public scrutiny, which can influence legal proceedings. He pointed out that the media coverage surrounding the allegations could lead to a biased jury pool, making a fair trial more difficult. Criminal defense attorney Lisa Bloom commented on the implications of the lawsuits for Diddy's reputation and career. She suggested that the seriousness of the allegations could have lasting effects, not only on his public image but also on his business dealings and relationships within the industry. A criminal defense attorney, Schwartz, pointed out that the legal strategy for Diddy's defense will likely hinge on challenging the credibility of the plaintiffs. He indicated that it could be a complex case, as the timing of the lawsuits coincides with the expiration of the Adult Survivors Act, which allows victims to file claims regardless of when the alleged incidents occurred. Known for defending celebrities, Mark Garagos mentioned that the nature of the allegations against Diddy, especially the accusations of coercion and violence, could lead to significant legal repercussions. He also noted that any evidence, including testimonies and documentation, would be critical in determining the outcome of the cases. A legal analyst and former prosecutor, Nancy Grace, expressed that the high-profile nature of Diddy's case may influence public perception in the legal process. She highlighted that the visibility of the case could lead to increased scrutiny from both the media and the legal community, potentially affecting Diddy's future in the industry. In short, Diddy's troubles are intensifying, with each passing day dragging numerous celebrities and business moguls into the growing scandal. As the web of allegations expands, the future for those involved remains increasingly uncertain. As the situation unfolds, what do you think what's next for Diddy and his accomplices? Let us know in the comments and click on the cards displayed on your screen for more interesting updates on this story.